People, now streaming on Netflix, is from director Kenya Barris, creator of Blackish, who also wrote it along with Jonah Hill. Hill stars as a white Jewish man who meets the parents of his black Muslim girlfriend, including her father, played by Eddie Murphy. Except Murphy doesn't really like Hill or the idea of him marrying his daughter, and there's a culture clash between them. Sorta like a race-swapped version of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Granted, I haven't seen that movie yet, although I have seen the remake with Ashton Kutcher and Bernie Mac back in high school, which actually was a race-swapped version of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. But it's at least a little different because it also ropes the white man's parents into it too. Played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus and David Duchovny, they are also awkward and struggle to deal with a different culture as well. Yeah, this is your typical Netflix movie. Nothing particularly wrong with it, but nothing right either. The hardest type of movie for me to write about. I'm only doing this because it just came out last weekend and because I have nothing better to talk about in this spot. Before watching this, I was thinking of talking about The Banshees of Inisherin since it was at least still in theaters, but once again, this is the more recent and timely one. I really like that movie, by the way, one of my favorites of the year. I guess it's kind of funny at times. Hill and Dreyfus are good at the awkwardness that their interactions with the other family require, and at times these interactions are even a little uncomfortable. But unfortunately, I didn't really think this was as funny as it could have been, or that the social commentary was as provocative as it could have been. Also, Barris's direction can at times seem like it's trying too hard to be cool, particularly with some of the transitions, and it's easy to tell where the story is going from the very beginning. This goes exactly how you might have expected when you heard me describe the concept, no surprises here. Overall, it's okay. I probably won't remember it by the end of the year, but whatever, it's straight to Netflix. I guess Eddie Murphy's much better. Dolomite Is My Name was also straight to Netflix. Well, this is not Dolomite Is My Name. It's more like whatever other generic Netflix movie you can think of. It'll kinda entertain you for 2 hours and then you'll forget about it. That's all you should really expect.
You're my father. I'm your son. I love you. But you think of yourself as a colored man. I think of myself as a man.
That's the story of, that's the glory of love.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, from Joel Crawford, director of The Croods: A New Age, and from co-director Januel Mercado, who worked on Harvey Beaks. It's the first Shrek-adjacent movie since the first Puss in Boots back in 2011. Puss in Boots has lost 8 of his 9 lives and is now down to his last one, and so he sets out to find a magical wishing star that has fallen to Earth to get more. But there are a bunch of bad guys who are also trying to get to it for their own separate reasons. It's been a while since I've seen the first Puss in Boots. Basically, I saw it once back when it came out. I don't remember all of it, but from what I remember, and if my thoughts on it stay pretty much the same from back then, I'd estimate it's probably a solid 3.5 stars. This one is probably better. Like, a lot better. Easily the best Shrek film since the original. Another one of my favorites of the year. And it beat out Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio as my favorite animated film of the year. Coincidentally, this one also features a cameo from the Shrek Pinocchio and a running gag featuring somebody who's obviously supposed to be like Jiminy Cricket. I don't know what that says about me. First of all, the animation is one of the high points here. It uses the same experimental 2D and 3D hybrid animation that was used in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. DreamWorks also used it in their last movie, The Bad Guys, which I was also a pretty big fan of. This style is still awesome. There's hardly a dull frame in this movie. It's all very lively and energetic, although I'm not really a fan of the occasional scene where they switch to a lower frame rate and the animation looks choppy, but that doesn't really happen a lot. But the writing is also top tier DreamWorks. It's a story about not taking life for granted, told with heart but also a lot of fun. It has the kind of subversive humor that the Shrek movies are known for and action sequences that are enhanced by the animation. It is consistently fun to watch. All of the characters are memorable. Even the dog character played by Harvey Guillen from What We Do in the Shadows, who I was just expecting to be the annoying comic relief character, has quickly become a favorite of mine. Even some of the villains are likable, while Jack Horner, played by John Mulaney, is pure evil in the best way possible. And then there's the wolf character, who's actually pretty creepy and menacing for a side villain from a family movie. There are a few downsides, a couple jokes that miss here and there, but they're pretty much just nitpicks that aren't really worth mentioning. This is the second movie I've seen in theaters this year after Megan. This year's off to a good start for my theater experiences, and both of them are from Universal. These guys are on a roll. This is a great animated movie and an excellent way to revive interest in the Shrek franchise. This is a lot better than it had any right to be. It's a wish come true. I wish people would join my Patreon. Link in the description.